What is going on, you sickos? This is the AEW Rundown here on the No Holds Barred Wrestling Channel in association with the Finns Talk Sports Network. My name is Josh Kimmel, and I watched Dynamite last night and this morning. It carried over to this morning. They came off of a big show. That's all I can say. They came off of what they think is a big show in AEW Redemption. The pay-per-view over the weekend, we had a lot of title changes. Maya World is your new TBS champion. Willow Nightingale is your new AEW Women's champion. Andrade is a national champion, although he wants the World Heavyweight Championship and he won't stop talking about it. You know, there's nothing better than having something or someone or anything and going, yeah, but I really want that. I mean, it's one thing for a car. You know, one thing for maybe a shoe. But you wrestle for titles and you say you're going to win the AEW World Championship and then you go for the lesser title. So it doesn't really make sense to me, like at all. But be that as it may, we have Andrade as the national title champion, but he's still aspiring to be the WWE or AEW, not WWE. Well, probably the WWE champion. Let's be honest. Every single wrestler wants to be the WWE champion at some point. Nobody grows up or grew up saying they want to be the AEW champion. And no kid today is growing up saying they want to be the AEW champion. They grew up saying they want to be the WWE champion. So, anyway, we had a show last night, or Wednesday night, July 29th, 2026, from Detroit, Michigan, at the Masonic Temple Theater. Seats around 4,000 people. It was a good size. Like, it was a good size for Dynamite. It looked good. I know they're doing smaller venues, which it's so funny, the IWC people, everyone. Why are they doing these huge arena shows? It looks ridiculous. And then you have people on podcasts, on bigger platforms than myself going, well, they need this, they need that. It's the production, the screen, the audio, the CGI, whatever the case they were talking about. They need the big arenas for the production. And then they go into these smaller venues. It looks better because the crowd is actually full. But now we're complaining, oh, they're doing small venues. They look like a joke. They look like a secondhand company. That's what we wanted. It looks better. What's going on, Maria? It looks better. The show looks better. The crowd looks engaged. Sometimes the crowd sucks. Last night's crowd or Wednesday night's crowd was good. I think it was very good. They were in Detroit. They were live. They were rowdy. It was a good show as far as the crowd reaction goes. The content, questionable. Very questionable. Very, very questionable. So we start out with the Death Riders, Omega, Ospreay, all that stuff. They're in some kind of alley or outside, or they're somewhere. I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere. And Renee Paquette is interviewing Ospreay about this and that. How do you feel? You know, typical AEW stuff. And then we get this whole movie scene. Listen, like Garcia mocks Ospreay for some reason. Don't know why. Then Ospreay just hits him with an elbow. And this is where Jon Moxley is losing me as a character. For real. I think that this whole Bloodline cinematic era that we were in is causing every other wrestler to want to be cinematic. And Jon Moxley is doing his best 80s action star performance. Like, his boy just got knocked to the ground by Will Ospreay. What would a bad guy do? Like a really bad guy in an 80s movie do? They wouldn't react. They wouldn't go crazy. Oh, slow down. Let's talk normal. Let's talk in a slow tone. You sure you really want to do that? You sure? You're sure you really want to do this? You know, like, I get what he's doing, but either way, I'm not going to criticize it too much. We get that whole segment. Will Ospreay says, I quit the Death Riders, puts the patch right back on his right on Jon Moxley's chest. That patch was just ironed onto his pants a couple weeks ago, man. I'm sad. I'm actually sad it's over. But he quits the Death Riders. And they move on. There's no argument. There's no confrontation. There's no attack. It's just, all right, you're out. You're out. Let's go. And then he runs into Hangman Page. The deadliest elbow in history. Look, I'm not saying it was one good of an elbow, like 100%. All I'm saying is there was no retaliation. It's fine. It is what it is. Then he runs in the Hangman Page, like Hangman's been there the whole time. Did anyone know Hangman left? Did anyone know Hangman returned? Hangman just there. Hey, I'm he felt like the weird cameo. It felt like a random cameo, like, yeah, I'm Hangman. Remember me? I used to be a main eventer here. He pretty much gives Ospreay, like, oh, I'm so proud of you. And Ospreay, I don't trust you, bruv. You're associated with Kenny and that whole clique. I don't trust you. But they ended in good terms. Hangman says, I believe in you. You're going to get it done. And that was the end of the scene. I have so much to say. You had 3 of your biggest stars in the company in one segment. And it was fine for an AEW segment. I am making fun of it a little bit. But the return of Page, your quote unquote top, your homegrown talent, your pillar, the one who's supposed to be the OG, the original, he gets the worst return in history. People want to make fun right there. Hangman is the heart and soul of AEW. 100%. I 100% agree with that. There is no doubt in my mind that he's the heart. He 100% is the heart and soul. 100%. He was in the first ever AEW Championship match against Chris Jericho and lost. He's been the guy since day one. The best story in AEW history. The best story that AEW has ever put together is Hangman Page's arc to win the title from Kenny. Literally, he is AEW. And that's why I'm so upset. Where's the return? Where's the big return? Where is the everything? It was just him in a pre-taped backstage segment like, hey guys, what's up? Where is the big moment? There was nothing. It was a flat return. I mean, he returned a couple weeks ago on Collision, nobody saw. And now he returns in this way. It just would you see Roman Reigns returning like that? Would you see Cody returning like that? No. We would have saw something. Other than just, hi guys, I'm still here. Cowboy up. But I do love Hangman. I wish they did more. Anyway. Timeless Tony Storm versus Mariah May is the best story in AEW history. I mean, it's good. It was good, Maria. That's up there. It's definitely one of, like, I'm not going to argue with you. If you think it's that, that's that. I just think it was Paige because it was new. It was the beginning of their history. It was, I went from watching Being the Elite, meant, everybody was waiting for him to say, how you know? And dude, as soon as he said it, the crowd went nuts. Just like the Bart Simpson meme where he says his line and everyone freaking goes nuts. I hope he's more than a catchphrase. How you know? I love it. Amy Hater was so cool back in the day. Way back in the day. She was so good. Now she's this. I feel so bad for her. She was supposed to be one of the big women stars of the company. Now she's just this. And Alex Windsor, they Asuha Challenge, are the best tag team people of all time. Cool. Let's go. You'd be like, what are you talking about, Dad? Everyone knows this. Don't say he's more over than Jey Uso. Come on. That's ridiculous. Jey Uso's got 60,000 people doing this at WrestleMania. Come on. Now, in Andrade's space, yeah, of course he's mega over. Then we get another segment. I'm just moving on from the Brawling Birds. There's nothing there. There's nothing there for me. Nothing there for you. Nothing there for me. Jamie Hayter should be a star, but she's this. We get a backstage interview or segment with Don Callis and the family. Kyle Fletcher, Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, Kevin Knight discuss the redemption fallout. Pretty much Kevin Knight talks about how he had a great match. He hates how he lost, but he respects Kenny. He was in there with one of the best. God, I'm so over that. I'm so over the best. And I want to be the best. And you were the best. And I respect you. And we're the best. And everyone's the best. And I got to beat you to prove that I'm the best. And whenever I beat you, you're going to be the best. And we're all the best. And I respect you. And I need this win. I'm fucking over it. I'm over it. I am over it. I'm over the best. I want to see I hate you. I want to take your title. I want to see I don't like you. I don't respect you. You don't deserve to be the champion. I want to see this in my wrestling. I don't know what this is in 2026 in July. I don't know what we're doing. all 3 championships on both shows. I don't know what we're doing. It's so uninteresting. I don't care about SummerSlam this weekend. I don't care. I don't care about the best. Kevin Knight, you should be upset. You're a heel. You should be very upset. I lost. It's a sham. Just come up with an excuse. Be a heel. Stop saying you respect the top baby face in the company. Stop it. I hate it. Okada comes out and says, oh, yeah, the international champion, another championship. The international championship is going to stay in the family because Kyle Fletcher said it's going to be in the family forever. So cut and paste what we just did with Takeshita and Okada, with now Okada and Kyle Fletcher. Literally the same thing. Is it for the same belt? I don't know. I don't know what belt they were fighting for, but now they're fighting over another belt. It's literally the same story. I can't wait to get weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of Kyle Fletcher staring angrily at Okada. I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. Fuck, we just did this. Like literally just did this. All right. She gets injured too much, Jamie. Yeah. Well, give her a chance. Give her a chance. George Kittle also gets injured too much, but the 49ers still play him. For real. 6-man tag, a trios match. We got Mike Bailey versus Brodito, which I do love Brodito. Don't like Mike Bailey. Then we have Brian Cage, Jake Doyle, which I'm starting to like Jake Doyle. He's growing on me. If he could break away from that family and secure himself a top spot, I think he'd be really, really good. And then Kyle Fletcher. This match went 13 minutes and 48 seconds. Brodito and Bailey win. A lot of flips. Copy and paste what I said from the triple threat match. A lot of kicks, a lot of kickouts, a lot of cool moves, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of everything. Reversals, anything you want. Anything you want. You had it in this match. It was good. It was really good. Like, it's entertaining. And, I like Brodito. I was hoping that they split up Brodito and they could do their own thing because I'm a big fan of Bandito. I'm a big fan of Brody King. I would like to see Brody King go into the main event scene. I think he deserves to be there. I think he's over enough. I think the fans will go for a Brody King. If he was fighting a Jon Moxley or Kenny Omega, I think he can fill in a main event slot at an all-in, all-out, not all-in maybe, but maybe like an all-out, double or nothing. I think if you build him right, he's a big guy. He's a unique guy. He looks different than every other person on that show. That's why he stands out. I think Brody King, they're totally flopping this guy. 100%. Way bigger things ahead of Brody King if they just use him correctly. I like the whole big man, little man thing in a tag team. It worked for a little bit, but we didn't see Kane and X-Pac forever. They eventually broke up. Eventually they broke up. Let's get these guys broken up. Let's get Brody King in the main event scene. Bailey is RVD 2.0. Maria, if I didn't love you so much, I would have said, get RVD, homie. I love you, but I'm not going to go RVD. I would go more Ernest the Cat Miller, but less serious. Sit down interview with the Young Bucks and Copeland and Christian, and this is where I wanted to turn off my television. I really did. I wanted to take a break. I wanted to take a break during the segment. And it's not because what you guys think it is. You guys might think, oh, the Young Bucks. Josh must hate the Young Bucks. No, I don't. Yes, I think it's hilarious they got beat up by CM Punk. I think it's hilarious. A lot of things. I just think it's hilarious. It's fine. I still like Punk. I still like the Bucks. I still can like both. Hey, guess what? Newsflash, IWC. I can like both. I do. Shoot me. Whatever you want to do. Roast me. I can like both. But you're right, Maria. It's going to be awesome. I'm here for this match. I'm here for Copeland and Christian versus the Young Bucks. But I'll tell you why I wanted to turn the TV. I just went on a big rant about it. We respect you. You revolutionized the tag team championship. It's an honor to fight one of our heroes. Like, what are we doing? Now the respect love fest is bleeding into the tag team championships. Is every title in the history of wrestling this year going to be about love and respect and how much we love each other? What are we doing? I know the Bucks are babyface. I know Adam Copeland is babyface and Christian's a tweener. I get it. But if there was ever a time to turn Adam Copeland heel, this is the time. Maybe they're going to do it. They're running out of time, but maybe they're going to do it. Maybe we see a concerto soon. We have to get some heat. Make us want to watch this match. It can't be Edge and Christian from the previous years, 20 years from ago, versus the Young Bucks. That's not enough to sell me on a pay-per-view. I want to see some heat. I want to see Edge go in these spaces where he's been before, where we've seen him go before. I don't want to see a love fest. I just don't want to see it. I want to see a real grudge somewhere on any wrestling card. Anywhere. The closest thing we have to it is Oba and Brock, and it's going to be good on Saturday. But let's be honest, like, it's not for a title. Brock's not long-term. And what's next for Oba? Here, we actually have a story. We could turn Copeland heel. Christian's already there. And we could have a good match. And you could have fans rooting for someone rather than just kind of in the middle. And that's where it's going to be. It's going to be in the middle. What's really going to happen is it's going to be crickets for the Bucks, and everyone's going to be cheering for Christian and Edge. That's what's really going to happen. See, you don't know if Punk beat up the Bucks. Nobody knows what happened. Yeah, but because nobody wants it out there, because the Bucks don't want it out there. And you know what? It shouldn't be out there. It's none of our business. Do you know what? That I saw Punk got his ass kicked of course he got his ass kicked in the UFC. It's the UFC. He wasn't ready for that. That was ridiculous. But yes, he got his ass kicked in the UFC. So did Brock Lesnar. So did Ronda Rousey. So did Conor McGregor. So did who are the tough guys? Nate Diaz. He gets his ass beat every single time. But I wouldn't want to fight him. Nate Diaz goes into the ring bleeding already. But I guarantee he'd knock me out in 3 seconds. Not 1 second. You're right. It is funny to watch CM Punk get beat up sometimes because he is a little prickish. Anyway, Young Bucks, Copeland, Christian, they're set for All In. They're ready to go. They're bringing their family. Christian's happy. The wives are coming. We can move on. Cope and Christian should retire after this. I think Copeland should. I think Christian has a good career as a manager or somewhere in the wrestling business. Whereas I will say it. I don't care. I'm not afraid to say it. Edge is boring. Edge is so boring. Edge revealed that he needs the WWE to be successful because his run in AEW has been non-existent. I can't tell you a good story he's had that I cared about or a good promo he's cut or anything. But again, I haven't watched the product in a very long time. This is 6 weeks into it. I'm 6 weeks into it, watching consistently week after week. Man, Christian, I can do without Edge. Machine guns will appear after this match. I haven't got that far yet because I didn't watch Collision. They should have debuted on Dynamite. It was in the same venue. Why weren't they? Anyway, was it a 90-day thing? Did they not meet their 90 day? Were they afraid of pulling another Andrade? Because this should have been a Dynamite thing, not a Collision. Nobody watches Collision. We have an AEW TBS Championship match. Maya World versus, I'm going to butcher her name, and I've freaking practiced it 1,000 times. Persephone. New Day would be cool. If New Day comes out in England, which I think they're going to, I'm here for it. I love the New Day. I think it's ridiculous that the WWE couldn't find it. I think it's ridiculous. They turned heel on Big E, had one of the biggest heel turns of that year in 2025 or whatever year that was. And they did nothing to follow up. Nothing. I couldn't believe it. You stick Grayson Waller there and they're a joke. These guys should be at the level of the Usos as an importance of the WWE. Now they're hopefully going to AEW and be treated as legends. Persephone versus Maya World. This was a breath of fresh air. 2 new women that I'm not familiar with. I know the story of Maya World. Again, I wasn't watching during the Continental Championship and that whole era and the Owen. I didn't watch any of that. I was after. This show started after the Owen. So I wasn't consistently watching, but I've heard of Maya World many times. I've seen her wrestle. She's great. Not great. She's good. She's a breath of fresh air. She's not Sheeta. She's not, who's the little Asian girl they have? The girl that, Riho. She's not Riho. She's not Nia. Who's the big girl? Not Nia Jax. The Beast girl, Nia Jax, not Nia Jax. She's good though. She's good. I forgot who she was. She's an original. She's not her. Like what I'm trying to get to is she's something new and fresh, and she has a look. She has charisma, and she has moves, and she's good in the ring. She can tell a story. She has facial expressions. I like Maya World. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I like Persephone 10,000 times better. 10,000 times better. This got 9 minutes and 59 seconds. Persephone had the look. She had the size. She's a champion of some sort. I think in some CMLL. I think she's a champion. She shouldn't have lost. She's got the facial expressions. She should be the one being pushed. I loved her. I love Maya World too. They shouldn't have fought. Because these are two stars that they should be building up to go ahead and take on the Sasha Banks of the world, Mercedes Moné of the world, and Toni Storm when she comes back. These women should be elevated up, not fighting each other. But good match. This was probably, I know that Maria said the best match was that 6-man trios. I thought this was the most enjoyable match because it was two people I haven't seen work a full match. And it was two people that I was impressed with because of their look, their style, and the way they actually present themselves as a real professional wrestler. I love this match. I love Persephone. I hope we see her more. I fast forwarded Jon Moxley versus Komander. I didn't have 12 minutes and 58 seconds. I saw a clip online. And this is why I fast forward. I saw a clip online, and forgive me if I missed this or if I'm wrong. Please correct me. I'm okay with being corrected. Komander was beating up Moxley outside of the ring. He was on the barricade, the fence, the gate. Komander then went to jump on the top rope for some reason. Jon Moxley then ran into the ring and slid on his back perfectly for Komander to jump off the top rope and hit him. I saw one smart-ass comment say, well, Jon saw that Komander was getting on the top rope, so he was going to run into the ring to avoid the drop kick or the dive onto the outside. And then Komander saw that he slid into the ring, so he changed his direction and then splashed onto Moxley. It was a quick movement by Komander and quick cunning ability by Jon Moxley. So you're telling me, if that's your theory, and if that's your theory, that's fine. But if that's your theory, you're telling me Jon Moxley avoided an outside attack by sliding into the ring perfectly in the drop zone on his back with his arms ready to take a bump. So that's how you avoid a bump, is sliding into the ring, preparing for a bump. Stupid. That's why I fast forwarded this match. I'm so sick of Jon Moxley. He sucks. I'm sorry. He sucks. He's a star in the company. People love him. I just wish he wrestled better. I wish his matches made sense. Many times we see Jon Moxley cut his face. He gets beat up. He goes to the outside. Literally not in character, talking to other wrestlers, telling them what to do, thinking the cameras can't see you. Many, many times he does this. Laziest wrestler, besides Okada, the laziest wrestler in the world, Jon Moxley. Lazy. Can't sell. Won't sell. If this was anyone else, WWE Fed, they slid into the ring and just were prepared for a move, you would say the same thing about that person. It just... Willow Nightingale championship celebration. This was a cool moment. This was Willow getting her championship moment. She deserves it. You could tell it was real. You can tell, most of this was a surprise to Willow. The streamers, you can tell by her face, like, holy shit, I'm getting streamers. The fans going, you deserve it, cheering for her. She was crying, tearing up. I love Willow. Willow is, to me, in my opinion, the face of the women's division. I know that Maria's going to say Toni Storm. I know the majority of people will say Toni Storm. That's fine. I got sick of Toni Storm stuff a long time ago, but I understand her impact. I understand it's good character work. And I understand she's a great wrestler. I love Toni Storm. I'm over her gimmick. I'm over everything about it, to be honest. I wish it would go away. But we have Willow now, who her gimmick is she's just old Bailey. A little bit feistier, though. She's positive, smiles. Everything about her is cheerful, joyful. She is literally the definition of the rainbows. She could be part of the New Day. How rainbowish she is. I love her. Yes. Willow spoke too much. Yes, then we get Mercedes. Sasha. Come home, Sasha. Then we get Mercedes. She interrupts. She cuts a promo. She got a ridiculous outfit on, which is her character. Ridiculous outfit with a stupid thing clipped onto her like a wedding, like, I don't know, a trail. Stupid. She's knocking down all the streamers in the ring. She's not happy with these streamers. She's pissed at Willow. And then she begins to tell everyone in the world watching that Willow beats my ass every single time. So why watch the pay-per-view? You beat my ass every single time we go. You broke my ankle. You took my championships. You took my TBS champion. You took everything from me. Cool. I guess we don't need to watch it. I guess we're good. I guess we're fine, guys. We know Willow's going to beat their ass. I didn't hear anything else besides you own me. Now, she might have said other things. She may have. But all I heard, my takeaway from the segment was Mercedes sucks and Willow's going to beat her ass in Wembley. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Mercedes is going to win the championship. But I like this. I'm into the segment. I'm into Mercedes. Everyone knows she's my second now. She was my first favorite wrestler, but now she's going down the totem pole because of her booking and everything that she's doing. I prefer other people like Liv way better, in my opinion, right now, currently. But if we can get a Mercedes Willow match in a good promo and we get good segments every week, not her eating the steak next to commentary, not her getting her face pushed into a cake by a puppet. If we can get a good, real wrestling segment with real heat and real hatred and real, I want to beat your ass. This is the only program in AEW that has this, or the potential to have this, because everyone else is jerking each other off. Whereas Willow and Mercedes actually have real history, real beef, and they really don't like each other. Well, I don't know in real life, but per story, they don't like each other. So this is the most interesting thing that I saw in wrestling this week. Not just AEW, wrestling. I'm hyped for it. That was years ago. Willow's a lot more over than Bailey. Oh, come on. When Bailey was at her height, there ain't no little girl out there dressing up as Bailey every show, showing up every single show. There ain't no little girl that's idolizing Willow like that. There might be little girls that love Willow. I shouldn't say that. That's unfair because that was in NXT. They only stayed in one spot. Okay, that's unfair. But Bailey's a megastar. Jericho versus Ciampa got real bad blood. I'm sure it does, but it wasn't on Dynamite this week. Wasn't on Dynamite this week. You know what was? You know what was? At 157. Yeah, there's a lot of little Willows. I know. I just said that. All right. She's great. I love Willow. I shouldn't talk shit about her. But I want to say this. I was watching on Max, and I fast forward through commercials. I fast forward the entire Jon Moxley match. I didn't fast forward anything else. But I saw there was an hour and 57 minutes already in the show. And Orange Cassidy and the Jobber group was coming out to defend their Jobber titles against the Jobbers, Ricochet, Bishop, Khan, and Toa Leona. And I said, 157, there's 3 minutes left in the show, and they have to do the whole Omega segment and the Trios titles. How were they going to do this in 3 minutes? I know they have overruns, but then I saw they went and overrun 30-something minutes. And I'm sitting there going, what? Does TBS have nothing else to show? What about the person who wanted to watch How I Met Your Mother? Right? Oh, I don't know what comes on after Dynamite, but whatever. What the fuck was this? The match started like at 10 o'clock p.m. probably. This is terrible. Either way, Ricochet wins. The Demand win. This is where Hangman comes out and makes a save. So I guess Hangman is now going after the Trios Championships. with Bandito and Brody King. That's apparently what's going to happen. I would prefer Evil Uno and John Silver. I would prefer the Dark Order. Just kidding. I don't even know if they work there anymore, but I'm sure they do. No doubt they do. No doubt. Anyway, the very main event. There are way too many titles. Yes, there's too many titles in AEW. Yes. All right, the main event. Now, I'm going to ask this in the chat, and someone please tell me, because I don't know. And I know AEW is very big on realistic. They want, real, like I explained this. I have friends that people don't like, but I like them. I have friends where I like them as a friend, but then their friends suck. And it's like, come on, why are you hanging out with this dirtbag? Like, I understand there's layers to life. Is Kenny Omega heel? I need to know, is Kenny Omega heel? Because after this segment, he's a heel. After this segment, I think Kenny Omega is turning bad guy. He has to. Or else, what was this segment for? I know that, I see segment with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay was fire. I don't think it was. I hated it. And it's for the reasons why I've already complained about. It's the Cody CM Punk situation. It's the Seth Rollins Roman Reigns situation. The whole god darn confrontation was about friendship. All friendship wrestling from day one. It's all about friends. Every single Young Buck situation has always been about friends. Kenny Omega. Oh, Adam Page, you were my friend. Now we're not friends, and I hope you stop drinking. Everything's always about friends. Will Ospreay, you were my friend, and when I was getting beat up and the chair on my neck, I heard the crowd, and it was all about feelings. And it was a freaking 15 to 20-minute promo about how much they love each other. It felt like a couple fighting rather than two wrestlers fighting for a belt. It felt like me fighting with my wife. It felt like you fighting with your spouse. It felt like two dudes in a relationship, and they just had a big argument, and they're trying to squash it, and they need to go to divorce therapy or whatever, couple therapy, whatever you people do to get help. No, I want the match is going to be good. I just want heat, Maria. You can't tell me you don't want heat. Now, if Kenny Omega's turning heel, and we have 30-something days or 29 days to get this ready, and we get the cleaner back, and we get Kenny Omega doing dastardly things, and Will Ospreay overcomes it, I will turn my tune around. We'll get into, hell yeah, Kenny should be heel. Kenny should be upset. Will Ospreay, because this will go into a Drew McIntyre heel turn, as in everything Drew was mad about with CM Punk. You as a fan go, yeah, Drew's right. Yes, why? Yes, Drew should be mad. But then again, you still root for CM Punk because he's a sympathetic babyface. Everything Kenny Omega said, you had the bag in your hand for too long. Were you going to do it? A real friend would have said no right away. Like, he has real reasons to be mad. And if this turns into a heel turn where he's right and he's just upset, but we still feel sympathy for Will Ospreay, that's a story. That's something I'm here for. I'd be excited. I'd be talking about how awesome this segment was. But instead, we get two dudes in marriage counseling. That's what we got. We didn't get, I respect you, but I'm taking that title from you because you're over the hill and this and that, and I'm going to put you back on the hot. We didn't get that. We got, I love you, mate. I didn't do it. I was thinking about doing it, mate, but I didn't do it. Yeah, but I told you about John. That's like my wife telling me, I told you about this person. He's bad news. You shouldn't have hung out with that guy. Now you're in trouble. Well, Kenny Omega, I told you about Jon Moxley. Now look at you. You're in trouble now. This is divorce therapy. Couples therapy. Yes, Kenny is passing the torch. What if Kenny wins? What if Kenny wins? What if Kenny doesn't drop the title to Ospreay? Imagine that. You never know with Tony. his thinking is, well, we can lead this. This can go longer. We can have a more of a feud with Kenny as a baby or heel and Ospreay chasing. I think it'd be bad for business. I think we need Ospreay to have the championship. I think we need MJF as the champion, really. But either way, that was Dynamite. I'm so sorry, Maria, for being negative. I was positive half the show. The show was okay. I said this on Real Talk Wrestling last night. It's a mainly WWE show. We did a SummerSlam preview. So if you watch SummerSlam at all and you want my picks, go watch that show with El Ginger Americana. We had fun last night, every single Thursday at 6:30. I said it yesterday on Real Talk. I need heat in my stories, and we just don't have any here. But I said it last night on Real Talk Wrestling. AEW is more interesting and more fun to watch than WWE currently. And for everybody that's not watching AEW right now, I think you're missing out because, yeah, the stories are confusing. Yeah, nothing makes sense. Yes, you have to kind of fill in the gaps on your own. But I think they're putting on a better product week to week. Both companies have, because I do think Riot at Wembley if Will Ospreay wins. If Will Ospreay wins, no, Riot at Wembley if Kenny Omega wins. I think you're trying to say. I get it. But I want to, there has to be some kind of accountability because is AEW much better now because of how bad WWE was or is right now? And that's the question, chicken or the egg? What came first? Did I fall in love with AEW again or to begin with? Way back in the day when Chris Jericho was sipping the bubbly, was I in love with AEW back then because the state of WWE? And then once WWE got taken over by TKO and Triple H at the beginning, it was very good. You guys can't deny that. It was very good. So then we lost interest in AEW and went to WWE. Now WWE is god-awful. It's unwatchable. It really is. Raw is so hard to get through. SmackDown, you just don't even get me started. But Raw is so hard to get through now. I'm kind of leaning back to AEW. So is it a WWE's just bad? So I'm trying to find the alternative. I think that has a little bit to do with it. And if you don't think so, then you're lying to yourself. I don't like lying. So I will say this. I'll let you guys go with that. Thank you so much for watching the AEW Rundown. I'm here every single Friday at noon, good or bad, whether you like it or not, whether you like the show or not, whether I like the show or not. Not every show is perfect. I'm watching the Avatar Last Airbender on Netflix. I love the cartoon. My favorite cartoon of all time, the Avatar. The live action sucks. It fucking sucks. The stories don't match up. Nothing makes sense. It's not good. But I'm still watching it, good or bad. So that's the kind of person I am. So I'll still watch AEW, good or bad. I'll still report on it, good or bad. And I'll still give you my honest thoughts on it, good or bad. Catch me tomorrow. I will be on at 2, I think we're going to go for WrestleMania 15. Attitude Era. We get Rock and Austin, I believe. The main event. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it tonight. Got Rock and Austin, I believe. We got some banger of a matches. WrestleMania 15 tomorrow with myself, Bobby Melendez, No Holds Barred, the flagship show. Then we have SummerSlam. We're not doing a SummerSlam preview because we did that on Real Talk Wrestling yesterday. But on Sunday, I will be on with Adrian and the Rainy Day podcast at 2 p.m. Sunday for the SummerSlam pre-show and the SummerSlam post-show. I'm doing double duty Sunday with Adrian and the guys of the Rainy Day podcast. So look out for me there. I'll be posting links on social media. Follow me on Blue Sky. Find me just Josh Kimmel. Google Josh Kimmel. I'm famous. You can find me. I'm not famous. I'm not famous, but you can find me somewhere. I'll be posting the links there as well. I recommend X-Men 97. It's fire. I want to watch it 100%. Yes, I want to watch that show. Are you reviewing SummerSlam? I just went over that Rainy Day podcast. Me and Bobby are up in the air when we're going live Saturday for WrestleMania 15. And Josh has seen the light. Or have I just found the less dark place to go reside in, Maria? That's the question. I'll leave you guys with that. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good weekend. Have a safe weekend. If Oba loses, we know Vince is back. Have a good one, guys.